Shortest media session ever?
No, for that first half, you really came in and were pretty aggressive looking for yours, and then were able to kind of, Pascal came and picked up in the second half. And how important is that just to have different guys who can sort of take what's there when it's available?
Yeah, for sure. I thought we just got off to a little bit of a slow start there. So after the first couple of possessions, just trying to push the pace, and was able to, find a couple buckets there, knock some shots down, and then obviously Pascal picked it up in the third, and the fourth made big plays for us. So yeah, we got to have more than one option, and take whatever the defense is giving us. And I thought we just had a pretty good balanced attack tonight, making the right plays even when it wasn't working out. We still were looking for the right things and making the right reads.
Was that something you were mindful of coming into the game, coming in with the right energy, because this team's on, second night of back-to-back, played a double OT, just finished on that?
Yeah, definitely. Try to push the pace. Obviously, we know I watched the game last night, so you know how that finished up. And but more importantly, I think we're at our best when we're playing with energy and pace early on, getting off to good starts. And so it was important to try to get out to a good start and give ourselves an opportunity to compete.
Chris more than held his own against Gobert early in the fourth quarter as Yak was in foul trouble. How important was that stretch for you?
His 19 minutes were amazing tonight. He it's not the stat sheet stuffer like he usually is, but he had a couple great deflections, a couple big time rebounds, box out, making winning plays, offensive rebound tip out. So Chris was amazing for us tonight off the bench, and he deserves a lot of credit for those minutes without Yak in there.
What impresses you about Gary's ability to get in passing lanes and apply ball pressure?
I just think he's at his best when he's being aggressive and being ahead of the play, and with his offensive ability, all he's got to do is be disruptive on that end, get some steals, get out in transition, and I thought that he was great tonight and just changing the rhythm of the game and being out in front of the play and causing some easy transition points for us.
After the last matchup, you said obviously it helps when your two best players playing good at the same time. How do you feel like your game and Pascal's game complement each other?
I think just at this point, just got to take what the defense gives. I think we're both at the stage where we're going to get the other team's best look and get the most attention. So the first half, I was taking whatever they were giving me. They put McDaniels on me, showed a little bit more attention in the second half, a lot more physicality, brought the bigs up, and Pascal was able to shake free and get some good buckets and find the mismatches on the other end. So we gotta keep working those things, and again, just trying to make the right reads for this team, and I thought we did a good job of that tonight.
Fred, you kind of matched up a little bit with Nikhil Alexander Walker, a couple of different plays, and just kind of, he's a young guy, he's kind of bounced around trying to get some traction, and just in your own experience, how important is it in your development that you've been in one organization and been able to kind of take your lumps and kind of flourish, and take your lumps and flourish and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's that security.
Yeah, I mean, it helps, right? We talk about development all the time and the ups and downs that come with that, and it's a lot easier when you're in one place and one organization that, obviously has a long-term plan for you, and you just try to do everything in your power to stay there. And, he's bounced around a little bit, but he's certainly got a ton of talent, a lot of skill, very hard to guard, and, I think that, he'll figure it out and find a home that makes sense for him. But he's definitely, his best basketball is in front of him. He's a young kid, and he's got a lot of talent. So I think the sky's the limit. Again, you just, we get these opportunities, you got to make the most of them, and, you don't get to choose when and where and how, but you do get to choose how you approach every day and just being prepared and being ready for, when your number's called.
Obviously, things in the East are pretty tight. I mean, things in the West are tight, too. How closely do you pay attention to the standings at this time of the year, if at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, right now, just focus on playing good for our team. I think that we kind of are where we are, and that whatever that is, the 6 through the 10 or the 7 through the 10 is kind of, up and down, pretty close there. So I think just playing good basketball and not really worrying about who's in front of us or, who's behind us. I think if we play good, we'll win, and if we win, we'll climb the standings, and, that's just how it goes this time of year. But I've got our work cut out for us, but I like where we've been at, and we've been pretty focused, the last couple of weeks. We got to keep that up.
Is there any kind of friendly competition that goes on between you and OG and Gary? Like, the three of you are right there, steals. You and Gary are pretty much neck and neck.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've been doing it a couple years now, so I'll let them guys have it. Obviously, OG's always at the top of the league. But those guys gamble a little bit more than I do, so maybe I need to start trying to run through the passing lane, see if I can sneak a couple more. But I got to see how many blocks they've given me this year. That might take me over and put me in first place if I count the blocks as steals.
What makes Milwaukee so tough? And do you look at, does that measuring stick game at all tomorrow?
No, I mean, it's a little late for that. I think that it's a good opportunity for us, and I think that if we go get this one against, one of the top teams in the league, that's a great, standard to see where we are. I wouldn't measure it that way, but I think that it's a good opportunity for us, a good challenge off of back-to-back, and what makes them so tough, they got Giannis, and they got Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. They got a lot of talent and a lot of good vets that have done it. They're champions. They got a championship-caliber team and championship-caliber coaching staff, so the consistency, right? I think they were first to 50. So, yeah, that's a very impressive feat to have, and hopefully we can catch them sleeping a little bit.
You mentioned McDaniels earlier. I'm wondering what you thought of his defense, because Minnesota's been really happy with his progression on that end.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's a great player. I follow one of his trainers, Clint Parks, on Twitter, so I've been able to keep up, see more of him than normal over the last year or two. So I've been following his progression, and obviously just with that frame, the athleticism, man, he's got good instincts. He's physical, but he's taken a big jump offensively this year as well. So when they got those guys out there with Edwards, him, Rudy, Anderson, that's a pretty good, wing combination of defenders, and he's pretty damn good on that end of the floor. So definitely, I'm a fan of his game.
It's not often anymore that you get thrown into those matchups against more traditional centers. You did that because of Yak's foul trouble. You had a few possessions against Rudy. How different is it now versus at the sort of beginning of your Raptors tenure?
I mean, it's a lot slower. I'd say, when you guard wings and guys that could shoot off the corner or doing back cuts and stuff, they move a lot faster. I think, all the years that I've been with the Raptors, I was a big man at first, playing the 5, so it kind of brought me back to that. No roller behind, trying to get deflection off the lobs and stuff. So it was definitely fun to, see that I was still able to do that.
March Madness question, sorry. Just how much smack talk or conversation is there in the locker room over it?
A lot, especially after Arizona lost. UCLA and all that. I mean, there's a lot of talks going on. We have a lot of guys that are team are making good, and I'm not one of them, but I'm laughing at everybody else.
Anyone else? Nope.
Deux questions en français, s'il vous plaît.
On y va.
Je suis désolé que mon français soit mauvais, mais ça fait du bien de gagner 3 fois de suite.
Ouais, c'est sûr. Je pense qu'on avait besoin de ça juste pour qu'on retrouve l'équipe, la joie dans l'équipe. Je pense qu'on trouve un peu de style de comment on joue beaucoup. Puis je pense que la bonne chose qu'on a focus dessus, c'est savoir qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire, puis le faire au maximum qu'on peut.
Comment c'était de garder Gobert ce soir?
C'était une grosse bataille. Je pense que ça m'a montré une version de moi que je savais pas que j'avais. Toutes les fois que j'ai joué un big man qui était grand ou plus gros que moi, d'habitude j'ai de la difficulté. Alors aujourd'hui, ça m'a montré que j'ai fait des efforts et que je m'améliore bien.
Merci, Chris.
Mais pas de problème.
And tonight it seemed you found different kind of matchups to exploit at different points in the game and then ride them until you needed to go to a different one. Fred in the first half, Pascal in that third quarter. Is that the way you designed these things? You see what you got and go at it?
Well, I think each game presents, the situation and how things are going. Obviously, Yak got in a little foul trouble there in the second half. That kind of shifted the rotations a little bit. And I don't know, it just didn't really want to start the fourth with Fred, OG, Pascal all on the bench, and decided to let Pascal was kind of cooking pretty good there at the end of the third. Decided to let him kind of run out 2 or 3 minutes to start the fourth, and then brought Fred back in early. But I thought Chris really impacted the game. he started, it was funny, we went small, and Chris ended up on Gobert, and probably was his most difficult matchup of the night was Chris, right? So got his hands on some balls. Gary really impacted the game too. He had at least 5 steals there. I looked down, he had 5, and I thought he got his hands on another one there in the fourth as well. So I thought those two guys, deflected some balls, stole some balls, blocked a couple shots, tied up, jump ball here for Chris. Really impacted the game defensively, as well as, obviously Gary at the offensive end.
You talked yesterday about the mental toughness, rebounding from the disappointment of the trip to now play 3 very good games at home. Even tonight during the game, they kind of rolled with the punches and didn't give in when Minnesota made that run there. It speaks to their mental toughness developing?
Well, it felt like a pretty low energy game. The building was really quiet. I felt like our bench was quiet, their bench was quiet, and I was but then we hit a spark there, and the energy hit, and then we kind of went on our run. I think we did something like maybe 8 straight to end the third to start the fourth or something like that, or a pretty nice run, but we kind of got them on a 2-for-1 to end the quarter. Then we got the ball back to start, so it kind of ended up being a 3-for-1 there that I think we might have scored 7 or 8, maybe 9 points on right there. So then I thought the energy, I thought we were really moving and pace picked up and all that kind of stuff all throughout the fourth. I just thought we made some really good defensive decisions, and that led to some good offensive decisions.
Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
A couple of really good overall games for Gary, to your point earlier. Is it as simple as he's hitting shots and that sort of sparked some other aspects of his game, or is there something else that you're seeing from him recently?
Well, I think it's even simpler than that. It was a little bit under the weather on the road trip, and he tried to play through it and fight through it, and just feeling better.
On that note, like in those Lakers and Clippers games, like you ran into some dry spots and you could really use Gary making some tough shots. And tonight, a similar situation presented itself when Yak went out. The offense isn't totally crisp, and he does hit 2 or 3 of them. Like, do you notice that more when he's missing in the Los Angeles games, or when he's hitting them in this game?
I notice them equally. It's good. It's really. I mean, it is a factor though, right? I mean, we need his offensive production. That's kind of his role on the team is to keep that offense ticking over when some of the main guys are off the floor.
With Gary though, like whether it is something where he is under the weather or another situation where he is actually in a funk, do you just not worry about it at all because of the professionalism that you talked about in terms of his approach day to day?
Well, I think that he has a lot of confidence, and I think we have a lot of confidence in him, and that's it. And guys aren't going to always have great shooting nights, right? It happens. You try to figure it out, manage it the best when it's not happening, and then get ready to go the next time. And even some of those nights he's not, I'm always thinking, what can we run to get him a clean look and maybe get him going, right? So I think you're trying to manage it all the time.
Coach, you got to put some of your depth players out, especially towards the end in the fourth quarter. How important is it to get them some minutes and also rest your starters with the postseason approaching?
Well, I think it's nice that we were just able to get those guys off the floor in general. There hasn't been a whole lot of those situations this year. It certainly helps this time of year. It certainly helps on a back-to-back for sure a little bit. It was good, even though it's only 3 minutes. It got Precious out there for a couple minutes. I'm sure we're going to use him tomorrow night, right? So I think it's good to get him a couple reps down there, better than nothing. So, it's always a good situation.
Do one more.
Siakam seemed to sort of flip the switch after that Nasri dunk. What did you like from his game, especially in that third, going to the fourth quarter and getting your tempo back up?
Yeah, again, I think he's had a couple games in a row now where we've seen a lot of variety, in what he's doing, and that's what I'm, there's been some at the basket, there's been some of his old spin moves, there's been some of his back down fadeaways, there's been some offensive rebounding, right? And I think there's been some transition at the end of it. That to me is his recipe for having a good night.